Welcome. This is Hal Lack. Today I will be giving a tutorial on control statements, in particular if statements. Okay. To save a bit of time, I created a project in advance called control statements, and in my class is actually called if statements. Okay. And the one thing I forgot to mention I pretty much should have been when I gave my first lecture on classes, I forgot to mention that by convention, classes always start with a capital letter, okay, so uppercase. Okay, so let's just get that out of the way. Okay, so let's get an example of that shows if statements, and I want to demonstrate something that I tend to find that novice programmers have trouble understanding. Okay. So let's just start. I'm going to use a grade. This is a fairly common example. And so grade, okay, I'm just going to keep it as an int. And let's just say that we want to determine grades, right? So let's say that it's greater than or equal to 80. Okay. And you know, as I always, by habit, I just like to use curly braces just in case I may have more than one statement in my if construct. The warning here is that I'm using a local variable and haven't initialized it. Let's just go do that. So it's a great student to start off with, 99%. Okay, and in here, I'm just going to print out, you have an 80, 80 or more, you get an A. So you get an A. Now, down here, I'm going to put else if you didn't get an above 80%, else if, then you got a grade greater than or equal to, I think for a B, it's always been in my days, 70 or more, right? Okay. And then again, we print out. I'm kind of lazy, so I'm going to use some shortcut keys. So what I did there was that I used the Alt, or on my Mac is the Option Command key. On a Windows box would be Alt Control, and then I just move it down again. Alt down key. Okay. I got this extra line in there, so I'm going to get rid of that extra line there. All right. So you get a B. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again. Kind of lazy, so I'm going to do the same thing. Lazy to type. Oh, too far. Okay, I got that extra. Okay, so there it is. And I believe it will be 60. Okay. And this is just to save some time here. So C, do we have a D? Let's just say 15 above is a D, right? I need the whole thing. Okay, so and then I need to format. I can't format that. So some extra curly brace. So let me format that. Okay, so Shift Command F to format. And then we have 50. And this is a D. All right. And the last one would be just an else. Okay, so I mean that's a default. And then that would be down here. Okay. I guess this would be a fail. Right? So that's what we have right now. Okay. So depending on the input, so we actually run this, right? So I created some hotkeys for myself. So if you want to learn how to do that, I can always teach you that. Right. Create another video tutorial. Okay. So you notice it prints out A here. Okay. Right, because we got 99. We change this. So that the student is got 75. So then we get a B. Okay, so anything below that says 30. We'll run it again. That'll be enough. Okay, so you notice that the one thing that's kind of hidden is that with else construct, the first will fall into that and execute that particular statement. So if so for example 30 here, all these will be false, and then by default it'll print F. Okay, or if we got a 90, right? Well, let's just say 80. Right? I'll print out an A, and because it's the first thing, and then the rest will be skipped out. Okay. All right. So now let's change this a bit and say, well, let's not do an else if. Why don't we do something like this? Okay. So why don't we do something like this? All right. For the last one, I actually have to change it because this will be it's no longer an out, just an else, right? So let's just do something like this. Okay. Let's do if grade is I guess here would be less than 50, right? So to make the condition, right? Okay. All right. So that's what we have. Okay. So now let's try running this. Okay. You notice, look what happened. 80, right? So this is true, and this is also true. This is also true, right? So it prints everything that's true, right? This one, just because we were saying that you failed, you have a one that's less than, right? I could just make it print out as well. I mean, just 0 or greater than 0, right? Print, right? There you go. But you know that just doesn't make sense, right? But and like even I'm just trying to demonstrate here that the logic is not, well, if it's greater than or equal to 70, you get a B. All right, so if I do this, it will actually run the whole thing. So see that F. Right, so what do we learn from this? You have individual if statements. It'll evaluate to every single one. This is true, so we'll print that, and then 70. Also greater than 60, 50, and 0. Right, so it prints every one of them, which is not what we want. So the if else construct, okay, evaluates to the first one and then just drops through and ignores the rest. Okay, so that's the if statements. There's something else that's similar to that, and it's called a switch. I don't think I'm going to get into that right now. You want to look up switch, you can also look at for the code there, or maybe later on I'll introduce that in another video lecture. Okay, so I hope that helps to clarify the difference, and you can see by the performance difference as well. I mean, you can actually do this. We haven't learned logical operators yet, or Boolean operators. You could actually do this to get it right, but I'll introduce that in another video lecture. Thanks for watching.